Yeah. Okay. We ready? Okay.
Good evening. This is the work session for Northfield City Council, December 13th of 2022. This meeting was properly advertised in accordance with Public Law 1975, Chapter 231 in the Press of Atlantic City on January 8th of this year. May I have a flag salute led by Mayor Chow, please?
Please rise. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, Mrs. Bucci?
Here.
Mr. Deweese?
Here.
Mr. Leeds?
Here.
Mr. Notaro? Mr. Smith?
Here.
Mr. Utz?
Here.
Mr. Palestina?
Here.
And Mr. Chow?
Here.
Mr. President?
Thank you. Well, we have a nice agenda item tonight. So without further ado, I'd like to give the floor to Mayor Chow for the
Thank you, Council President. And
oath of
before I-
office for
Before I
Officer Branch.
administer the oath, I just want to remind everyone that I have to leave, have a meeting at 6 o'clock with the Northfield Community School.
Yes, sir.
Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to welcome all of you for this event. Tonight, I have the honor of administering the oath to a individual who's been around for a long time. He's with Mainland High School. He's a volunteer fireman. And now he's going to be officially inducted into the Northfield Firefighters Fire Department of the City of Northfield. So at this time, I'm going to recognize Mr. Trish. Mr. Trish, before I administer the oath, I'd like you to introduce your family to us. Karen. Okay, come on up here. And who is going to hold the Bible? Just raise your right hand, you know, please. Repeat after me. I, Christopher Trench, solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States, the Constitution of the State of New Jersey, and that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same and to the governments established in the United States and in this state under the authority of the people, and that I will faithfully impartially and justly perform all the duties of firefighter of the fire department for the city of Northfield, New Jersey, according to the best of my ability. So help me God. Congratulations. Council, myself, I'd like to welcome you to our department here, the fire department. I know you will do an excellent job, and I am very proud to have you on the team. So congratulations again. Thanks. Would you like to say something, Chris?
I would like to thank all the council for all the hard work and support that you've done and job. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, if you guys want to stay for the meeting, that's fine, or we can call a recess if you want to take a couple of pictures, and it's up to you. We like having people at the meetings. And congratulations as well, and thank you all, everybody on the, in the fire department for keeping us safe here. We wouldn't be, I don't know where we'd be without you. Thanks. Okay, well, we'll move on. We'll move on to the committee reports. Councilman Deweese. Okay, well, wait. Oh, they are gonna. It's like, what's my line? You want to do any photos? Or are you good? Okay. You might have done it the first time. Okay. Back to you.
Steps in the football tower are, there's still some work to be done. There's some electrical work that needs to be done. Public works is in, communication with County Electric and Atlantic Electric. We're probably gonna have to move some of the service lines to the, port tower to, clear the steps where, people walking in and out. So, we knew that was gonna be an issue, but we got originally part of seeing Alexander's contract, separate part of the project. The bleachers, are on your agenda tonight. They, first come up and it's doing kind of assembled in, public works will assemble in, and Rami's office will inspect and once they're, assembled, to make sure that everything is okay and safe. The thing is, first, during part playground equipment is in, I think we should have a really big ceremony in spring. Well, for that, so very obviously. City Hall, the columns out front have been ordered. The company will come in sometime, hopefully this week or early next week, to put up a temporary curing mechanism on the one side and see some surface cracks, so we're concerned about that, so we're gonna put up some shoring on that. And the company to see how it's in. That's all I have to say.
Thank you. Councilman Utz.
Not much on the planning board this week. They are mulling over regulations for natural gas generators and their placement. A tree ordinance with some teeth in it, so that if people remove specimen trees, there's some sort of process to go through before just removing them without any sort of oversight. And also to get a future ordinance for when there's new commercial building, including electric charging stations. As you know, we'll all be driving electric cars soon enough. And I'm sorry, I didn't bring the veterans. I think you all got an email about a symposium about veterans suicide prevention. I think it's a very worthwhile meeting. And that's, I don't have the information. It's on the 16th, but I would advise you all to check your email and if you have any interest to attend that meeting. And that's all I have.
Yeah, it is that, it's in Summers Point. It's the 14th.
Oh, the 14th.
14th at 4 o'clock at the Bethel Road Firehouse.
That's tomorrow. Yeah.
Okay, Councilman Leeds.
Thank you. So for the month of November, EMS was dispatched to 100 calls in the city. Of those calls, 62 people at 10-4:30 refused. We have usually come from out of town into the city 11 times. And we went into other towns 40 times. EMS average response time is 5 minutes and 47 seconds. There were 10% of the calls that exceeded 8 minutes. Again, that's due to being out of another town. Fire department responded to 18 calls for service last month. They spent 74 hours in training. Of the 18 calls, 2 of them were very large fires in other towns that they were called to assist and with significant damage. One thing I do want to point out is Rob, the city mechanic. They found out last Friday that the alternator was dead in the fire department rescue vehicle. And Rob was quick to remove it and replace it because of the weekend, obviously. But he got it back for first thing, I think Monday afternoon. And as luck would have it, they needed to install the light, but they had planned properly and placed it into another vehicle. So the fire department had a well call. without the rescue truck, they were able to do extremely well job. Chief Newman, I want to personally thank you for one of your officers. I got a report from one of the firefighters that responded to a heart attack call, and when the firefighter got there, the police officer got there as well. And the police officer did not hesitate to just start doing CPR with the firefighter. And you know, unfortunately, sometimes things don't work out, but when that person was placed in the ambulance and on their way to the hospital, they had a pulse back. And because the quick accident, you're also there. So I also attended the planning board meeting as a spectator, and I'm very happy to see that they are bringing flags back starting next year. There was another accident today, significant damage to the vehicles and some injured parties at Oak and Vine. And there's been some concern about the numerous accidents that are there, and maybe council could possibly look into, reach out to the county and ask them to consider putting a traffic light there.
And where the blanket, where it's blend, just blinking like this.
Change it to a full traffic light. I know the officers were there for quite a while, so it was pretty significant accident. One of the locations I think you look at.
I would recommend that the mayor send a letter on behalf of council to the executive. A petition for traffic light. It's been done in the past. I know studies have been done, but they'll start there.
To get started. Have we, have there, how frequent are they? I mean, pretty bad because when somebody comes out through the stop sign.
We'll have to do the kind of new traffic analysis.
Honestly, fine.
Yeah, in the past, what they've done, is they had. First thing they would do right away before we. To get traffic light, warrants, and that's a very long, arduous study. So the best thing for us, maybe a full. Like.
You already have to factor in like when.
I think
The class of the parking.
they do four-way stop that would help.
Does anybody notice if the stop signs that have a motion detector that are lit up? I guess I've seen them in Linwood in particular. Do they seem to, I don't know, do you know, have you known of any studies or?
Council, like, contact.
Yeah, I think that would be, I mean, certainly save a couple accidents. I would hope. Thank you.
That's all.
Okay.
Do we, I'm sorry, do we ask Chief Newman if that, like, is that a concern that we have? As far as that, I grew up in that area, so I'm familiar with that intersection. And they do have the blinking light there, so I mean, we ask the chief to comment on that maybe?
I don't put out one, tell you how many.
How long is that? Do we know how long that blinking light has been in operation there? I'm just wondering what's, since that's been installed, what are the numbers? I mean, I guess they would study that and look at that, but I'm wondering what the rate of accidents are since that has been installed.
I know the light that's there now, it was part of, I don't remember that tree that was there at the southeast corner that. I think there was a big tower there, and that flashing light was a result of that. Quick response, so maybe the easiest thing to do is to get the illuminated larger stop sign or. You know, if the lights around the stop sign as opposed to the flash, or in addition to.
That'll be all.
Right. So I don't know what they call it, but maybe the simplify thing, you could do that first. I don't know what they call it, so.
Yeah, we can look, I mean,
things like.
Yeah, the illuminated stuff, and a larger one. Yeah, so.
yeah, could you check that and we can, I mean, in the meantime, we can touch base with the county too, because I think as the chief said, that people are stopping and then going through anyway. I mean, yeah, so, so bigger stop sign's not going to solve that. Well, then they don't, yeah.
And
Yeah, I would say then, I mean, a four-way stop is gonna slow that down on Zion. It's gonna take a lot of people getting used to that, because that's a fast street.
Sign they're concerned with trying to stop traffic on 35 to 40 miles down on Zion Road. I think you're gonna create more of a hazard for the rear end.
Yeah.
That's my personal opinion.
I mean, sign.
We'll do. Yeah, the traffic study will take. Who knows?
We have.
Yeah,
do we
Yeah,
have-
that's ours.
We have signs that like, say, dangerous intersection, like extra caution, like things like that, that might be implemented.
No, is that something that Quinn can look into as well to see what other signs? Or the chief?
For no reason, stop.
Yeah, it's just more signs. Okay. Okay. All right. Councilman Smith.
Thank you, Mr. President. The Little League is engaging in early signups, early registration, getting ready for the spring season. It's a little bit early, but they're offering an early bird discount for anyone who signs up before January 1st. So anyone so inclined should take advantage of that. The mayor indicated that he was attending a meeting at 6 o'clock. The Northfield Community School is engaging in a strategic planning initiative, and that's where he's attending. That's their first meeting, I wish it wouldn't have been a conflict. I would attend myself. But that is a notice was given to parents in the district. It says the Northfield Board of Education invites you to participate in a strategic planning initiative along with your neighbors, community members, friends, teachers, and school district administrators to create a shared vision for the future of the Northfield School District. This process will be facilitated by Northfield School Boards Association. There are 3 meeting dates. One is this evening, so we missed that one. The second meeting is February 8th, a Wednesday, and March the 30th, a Thursday, is the 3rd meeting. So they're extending that invitation to anyone interested. I wanted to make us aware each of the meetings will begin at 6 p.m. You do need to contact the school to get on the list, I suppose, to be admitted to that. So they're looking for RSVPs. I've been engaging in discussions regarding our building inspector and construction official. We are in need of an employee there, and our current official is retiring at the end of the year. So I've had discussions with Galloway. They continue, but we continue to engage with them. Their cost for us was a little bit more than we were looking for, but we may not have an option. I have explored and reached out to other municipalities as well on the island and locally. And it is a dying breed, I guess, of official that there's a severe shortage of people qualified to fill these roles. So there just isn't younger blood coming into this, and of all of the individuals, officials I spoke with, the youngest person doing the job is 61 years old. So it's creating a problem for not just us, but other municipalities as well. But we will continue to engage in, talk to try to get something in place before the end of the year. Hopefully we can work something out, but, there's not a lot of people knocking down our door to fill this role. Finally, I wanted to mention and pass my condolences along. I'm not sure if people have heard or people know, but Marge Connolly passed away this past week. Marge Connolly was a teacher in Northfield community for over 25 years, retiring quite a while ago, but she is the wife of the man for whom the Connolly Mile is run, right? Bud Connolly, Charles Connolly. Her son is a teacher at Mainland and has been for over 25 years as well, but she passed away this past week. So he was very active in the community, obviously a highly regarded teacher in Northfield for years and years. And I wanted to pass along my condolences to the Connolly family. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilwoman Bucci.
Thank you. Insurance and safety, I don't have anything to report on that. The library, November attendance was 1,320. That continues to increase. They're currently working on their budget for next year. Municipal Alliance, this, I just want to say how great of a job that Shannon does with this assignment that she has with Municipal Alliance. She just really goes above and beyond. December 17th, which is Saturday, we have a cooking event at 2 p.m. at the library. On February 25th at Good Shepherd, we're going to be doing coffee with a cop, and I've secured Cafe Brew as the vendor for that. So that'll give them a little bit of publicity. Spring events that we're planning, or that the Alliance is planning, is a bike rodeo. We're going to try to do some movie nights. We have to work on that licensing for movies. You have to have a license to show movies. The library did have one, but it expired, so now we're gonna have to try to figure it out, but it's not something that's costly, it's within the budget. The only, Economic Development Commission, 2023, we're gonna be naming the board. The bylaws are in the process of being approved. So that's moving forward. It's been it's been a lot of work, but it's something that I really enjoy, and it's been really successful, if I do say so myself.
Yeah.
I put a lot of time in it, but I really do enjoy it, and the business community has been so receptive to it. So I'm really very thankful for them and their support, and for the support of council for letting me take that over. And I also wanted to mention too, that the businesses are going to be forming a business association, which is a separate entity from that, and it's going to be a private nonprofit. So that's all I have to say. Thanks.
Thank you. And yeah, and just going to a couple meetings and observing the kickoff meeting, it's the community is excited about it, and I don't think anybody could have done what you've done with this, and I appreciate the hard work. From my committees, the main thing I have is we met with the Atlantic County Utilities Authority to discuss upcoming fees for trash, recycling, yard waste, our tipping fee, our wastewaters, and everything's going up. They're processing, so they of the treatment of chemicals that they use, their fuel, all those things are causing some increases. I think last year on the wastewater, we were at 5% increase. In 23, it's going to be an 8% increase. The good news for us on that front is that our flows are down. Because, and we believe the slip lining is a factor in that. So our overall cost will end up probably being lower, even with the increase in the rate increase that they're putting out there. So well worth the expenditure that we put out there for that, and we're seeking to do another slip lining, that is. Trash and recycling and yard waste are all going up about 7.77%. So again, we'll be discussing these again during budget season, and the tipping fees to take the trash to the landfill is going to up 11%. While these costs are all going up, there's capital costs involved in that, and over the past several years, there haven't been much of an increase, so they're, I guess, catching up and looking forward to capping certain sections of the landfill and taking care of our future landfill needs.
Are we, getting any credit for the yard waste that's not being picked up? My neighbors had their yard waste out now.
Well, well, I don't know, that's a one-off, but I know we did get a blast from them that they were going to be on the holiday, they were going to be off by a few days, so they must not have gotten. I guess that's what a recurrence of what we had last year, so please keep us, anybody that does hear anything of that nature, let us know so we can be sure to make them aware and then get it picked up.
Conversation with HUA, they happen to mention closing of the landfill, and what their plan B is gonna be.
They did not tell us their plan B, but they say that they have till 2028. Was that what you're gonna say? That's all I have for my committees, and before I move on, I just want to it's our last meeting for this year, and I want to thank Paul first, thank Paul and Paul. Thank Paul, I'd say, for your current term, and see what happens in the future. Hopefully you come back. I enjoyed working with you on council.
I enjoyed it myself.
And Chief Newman, appreciate all these years of service. That's why I want to give you final billing, and truly appreciate what you've done for the city for all these many years. And hope you're smiling. So I know you're looking forward to your last meeting. No. So we'll move on now to the work session agenda. Stormwater, no update from them. Okay. And we haven't heard back from any potential purchasers for that block 6611. Carolyn, on the signs,
That's a 2023.
okay, yeah, we'll move on with, that's true, because we have to have 2 meetings in a row for that. Any grant things we need to discuss? Okay. Good. Thank you. Okay, so okay. The next item is on hold, the block 901, block 24. I thought that was familiar. The library maintenance agreement. Okay. Okay, yeah, so that lot that's up there, we actually was brought to our attention by a vendor that they wanted to purchase it, and but it's a piece of land that's not buildable, and I wonder if council would like to pursue putting that up for sale. It got missed, I guess, in our last auction of land. It's a small piece between 2 people's property, so we can offer it to the property owners, and then if neither of them want it, then we can auction it, but I don't know that if there'd be anybody wanting that little thing. We haven't contacted them, but we would want to get council's buy-in, if you will, to move forward. Okay. We'll contact them and move forward with that. The library maintenance agreement, if we all got that late Friday, there seems to be a lot of changes compared to the prior agreements. They didn't send a marked up copy for us to compare. So I would say that we should not be voting. It would be wise for us to vote on that tonight without having been able to negotiate that agreement.
For a lot of respects, what they do out there, so I would certainly sit down and have a conversation with them about it, but
Yeah, it is a significant change to,
there's
and
a lot of changes.
yeah, we need to discuss. So we will not include that we're gonna table or not table it, but we're not gonna move that forward.
Did we put a request in for a marked up copy?
Oh, we will, yeah. I mean, if they have that available, we'll just go the process and just go through that one and decide.
Forms in Word format?
I sent both forms out to the council in Word form. I tried to do a compare.
Yeah.
It is so different, you can't even read it.
Sounds like something you're gonna.
All right, so we'll just take the agreement and decide whether any of it makes sense to us.
Should they be making a presentation or anything, like come to us and explain to us what the impetus, like what's the rationale for these changes, like to give us detail in person rather than us trying to look through it, like is that something we should consider extending an invite?
I mean, we had an agreement that we had been working with. We can put ours forward. One or the other. I mean, yeah, we would welcome them to come in and present.
If I may, there's a lot
Yes.
of it that really isn't their discretion to tell the municipality that we should be doing these things, so I would urge everyone to really read it. I have made some comments in the margins on my copy. I'm sure the CFO is gonna want to do the same. Public Works is gonna want to do the same. I'm not certain it makes sense to have the library tell us why they want us to do those things when the answer quite simply might be no. Based on, and it might make more sense when you read it.
Was there a committee last year to discuss the library and the possibilities of kind of taking over?
Yeah,
The outcome of that.
The outcome was the recommendation was not.
we can discuss that again. We
They have access to, seeing what they did in that Beacon and other towns where they were. Yeah, a lot more services than we can.
I think that was part of the committee. The committee did look at that. But something we can always keep an eye on. Absolutely.
Only so we weigh all.
Okay. Any other items anybody wishes to bring up? All right, everyone can please refer to your agendas. Approval of the minutes. Councilman Leeds and Councilman Utz. All the resolutions by consent agenda. Are there any items on the consent that anyone would like to pull from the consent agenda? 221 through 234. And we're not doing 35.
35.
We're not gonna, yeah, we're not moving. Okay, Councilman DeWeese and Councilman Smith. Ordinance 13. Councilwoman Bucci. And Councilman Utz. Payment of the bills, Councilman Utz. And Councilman Leeds. And meeting notice, Councilman Utz. Make you work.
That's right.
Get my last bit out of you. At this time, we're going to open the meeting to the public. Anyone from the public wishing to speak on any topic, we ask that you please come forward, state your name and address for the record, and observe a 5-minute limit per speaker.
I just wanted to take this opportunity to congratulate firefighter Trench. And also, I want to take this opportunity to say thank you very much for our conversation. Councilman Nutt. It was great. I enjoyed it. I wish you the best of luck in retirement. I hope you enjoy yourself. And more down the way. I wanted to find out is there, when you do the research on everything with the stop signs, I'm just thinking about this, is there anything against having the stop signs blinking or in a neighborhood? So on an actual physical neighborhood street?
Well, we have to look at the location.
Okay. Okay, I just didn't know if there was anything, the ones with the solar panel, the light. So, I think they work well. I shouldn't-
Thank you. Good evening.
My name's Peter Brophy. I live at number 11 on 12 Oaks Court. As you all know, I'm a member of the planning board. And this is Councilman Nutz's last meeting. And for the past 3 years, Councilman Nutz has been the council's liaison with the planning board. And just wanted to say, Councilman Nutz has been a terrific member of the planning board. If the rest of the planning board were here, they would join me and say, we really appreciate the work you did. And we wish you the best of luck in whatever comes next. I'll see you on the bike. Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Brophy.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Joe Hobbs with Planet Networks. Here on behalf of Resolution 232. Just to give the council an update, this resolution is passed, giving us access to the right of ways throughout the municipal boundaries. The next step is unfortunately permitting for us. So part of our fiber optic project, we have to go and document every single telephone and tower pole that we attach to. That includes taking pictures, taking measurements, writing it all up, and then submitting it all, and then going through a whole process. So once we have the consent, we can start that process, and unfortunately, it's gonna look like we're not doing much of anything. But sadly, we are. It's just not the fun stuff. So we should be looking, Northfield is actually the first town in the area to move this forward. So if we go in pecking order, you gotta be the first one getting our services coming in. Again, I spoke with Tom several times. One thing I must say about Northfield, I've never seen folks respond to emails as fast as they do coming through here. It is almost uncanny. I wish the mayor was still here. I think I emailed him at 7 o'clock while I was waiting for my coffee to warm up. Maybe even been on a Saturday, and within 10 minutes, I had a reply back. It's unheard of. I have other neighboring jurisdictions I'm going on 3 months with, and I'll leave it at that. So one thing I would like to do is leave a stack of my business cards, okay? If you guys have any questions with anything, please
Okay.
do not hesitate to reach out. So we're chugging along just as fast as we can. Right now, we're going to be doing the permitting process and then building our workforce up down here. So we're shooting for late winter, very early spring to actually start hanging and getting customers connected online. So again, I would like to thank everybody for their time, and if there's ever anything you guys need, please don't hesitate to reach out to me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You get the internet.
It's coming. It's coming.
Anyone in Zoom?
If there's anyone in Zoom who wishes to speak, please raise your hand and I'll unmute you. That would be a no.
Okay, seeing no one else wishing to speak, Paul? We'll now close the public session. Have a motion to adjourn the, there you go. Second,
Yeah.
all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Okay.
Good evening. This is the regular session for Northfield City Council, December 13th of 2022. This meeting was properly advertised in accordance with Public Law 1975, Chapter 231, excuse me, in the Press of Atlantic City on January 8th of this year. May I have a flag salute led by Council President Pro Tem Deweese, please?
Roll call.
Roll call, Mrs. Bucci?
Here.
Mr. Deweese?
Here.
Mr. Leeds?
Here.
Mr. Notaro? Mr. Smith?
Here.
Mr. Utz?
Here.
Mr. Palestina?
Here.
Mr. Chow? Mr. President?
Thank you. Okay, Mayor is not here. We'll move right into the engineer's report. We will? Oh, yeah, I guess we should. There they are. Thank you. Gotta have somebody paying attention.
I'd like to make the motion to dispense with reading of minutes for November 29th, 2022. They have been posted and distributed to council and they're available on the city clerk's office.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Thank you.
One item. Yeah, revisit.
Thank you. Any question? Okay. At this time, we'll open the regular meeting to the public. Anyone from the public wishing to speak on any topic, ask you to please come forward and state your name and address for the record.
Anyone in Zoom wishing to speak, please raise your hand and I'll unmute you.
Yes, sir.
You can come back at the next meeting as a civilian and speak. Okay, seeing no one, the public session is now closed. The consent agenda, all resolutions, all matters listed under the consent agenda are considered to be routine in nature and having been reviewed by council will be enacted by one motion. Any item may be removed from the consent agenda at the request of any council member, and if so removed, will be treated as a separate matter. Any items requiring expenditure are supported by a certificate of availability of funds. May I have a motion to vote by consent agenda for 221 through 234?
Make a motion to adopt resolution 221/2022 through 234/2022 consent agenda. Second.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? I have a motion to approve resolutions by consent agenda.
Make a motion to adopt the consent agenda for resolution 221/2022 through 234/2022. Second.
Roll call.
Mrs. Bucci?
Yes.
Mr. Deweese?
Yes.
Mr. Leeds?
Yeah.
Mr. Notaro? Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Utz?
Yes.
Mr. Palestina?
Yes.
Motion carries for the adoption of the consent agenda.
May I have a motion to adopt ordinance 13-2022?
I'd like to make a motion to adopt 2022.
Second?
Ordinance 13 of 2022 is an ordinance amending and supplementing Chapter 275 rental unit registration of the Code of the City of Northfield to impose inspection requirements for lead-based paints and repealing all ordinances heretofore adopted, the provisions of which are inconsistent herewith. This is the second reading. There will be a public hearing after which the matter will be considered for final adoption. The ordinance is presently posted in full on the municipal website as well as in the lobby of City Hall. Any member of the public who requested a copy of the ordinance since introduction would have been provided with one in the office of the municipal clerk at no charge. If approved this evening, the ordinance will be published to final time in the Press of Atlantic City on December 17th.
Thank you. We'll now open to the public for ordinance 13-2022. Anyone from the public wishing to speak on ordinance 13-2022 and that alone? We ask you please step forward and state your name and address for the record.
Anyone in Zoom wishing to comment on ordinance 13, please raise your hands and I'll unmute you. No, sir.
Seeing no one, public session is now closed. Roll call. Prior to that, is there anyone from council has any questions? Okay, roll call, please.
Mrs. Bucci?
Yes.
Mr. Deweese?
Yes.
Mr. Leeds?
Yeah.
Mr. Notaro? Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Utz?
Yes.
Mr. Palestina?
Yes.
Motion carries for the adoption of ordinance 13 of 2022.
Payment of bills?
I'd like to make a motion to pay the bills in the amount of $594,585.54.
Second.
Roll call.
Mrs. Bucci?
Yes.
Mr. Deweese?
Yeah.
Mr. Leeds?
Yes.
Mr. Notaro? Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Utz?
Yes.
Mr. Palestina?
Yes.
Motion carries for payment of bills.
Meeting notices?
Okay, the next city council meeting will be January 3rd, 2023, the all-important 6 PM reorganization meeting.
Motion?
Motion.
All in favor?
Aye. Wow, that was good.
Any opposed?
Of course.
All right. There was a shootout to get this.